on this computer. Okay, how do we full screen it?
Plus.
This one?
The green one, the green one.
Oh. You cannot minimize when you're recording. I'm not going to minimize. This is sensitive.
This over there.
The green.
Yeah, I know, but it's acting weird, the mouse. Okay. Hello there, folks. Here we are again. Small crowd tonight. How's everybody doing? All right? You can hear? So, what are we talking about? We're up here in Minden at Joanne and Andre and Eugene. Eugene. It's a place in Minden, Ontario. We got more snow up here. We in Toronto this year, we didn't have much snow, just a few times. Nice fresh air, much cleaner up here than the city. A little colder, but we've been having pretty mild weather. Today's been a cold day. It was I think -11 in Toronto area. What's it up here? A little cooler.
It was -21 at night.
Yeah, a little cooler. So maybe tomorrow we go in the sauna, go jump in the snow. Got to start playing like little kids again. That's the only way we're going to, get our state of being to change everything we do, play like children. So it feels weird over here. I don't know, because it's different.
Too much light?
No. So, Stephen Eagles, do we know you? You can introduce yourself. We know everybody else. We don't know Stephen Eagles. Hello, Stephen. Can you hear us?
Darcy.
Yeah, Darcy. We don't know Darcy. Or do we? Could be. There's so many people with the same names. I don't know who's who.
Yes, it's Darcy Etchison.
Hey, Darcy. Yeah, I know Darcy.
My face won't stay on. The internet doesn't allow me to have
fine.
my face.
I just want to know who the people are. If we know who you are, I won't be asking.
Yes.
Excellent. So has anybody got any questions they want to share, or experiences they want to share, near-death experiences? Nobody?
Somebody has a
Yeah.
question. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. Hi
Hello.
Gina. So I'm celebrating my 40th day today. I'm so happy.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much questions, but I would like to share my experience. The reason that I started Master Fast is because I mean, actually, I've been on the health journey for a while. Since I was 14 years old, I was diagnosed with hormonal imbalances and hypothyroid, hyperglycemia, all those names that...
Wow, they gave you a lot of them.
I'm sorry?
They gave you a lot of names.
Yeah, exactly. All the names that medical mafia gives. And then I found myself on a raw vegan journey 2 years ago. So I started eating raw vegan, and I thought that would all heal all of my issues, but it helped me up to a certain point. And because I was trying to heal my hyperglycemia, which is an onset of diabetes, I was reading more books about how to heal it naturally. And I came across the book of Dr. Gabriel Cousens, How to Heal Diabetes Naturally. And since he was a raw vegan, I was very interested in his book. But because he was suggesting that, sorry?
No sweet fruit.
Yeah, exactly. And I started as a high carb, low fat vegan, but when I read his book, I was like, oh my God, I'm doing everything wrong. I was supposed to have no fruit. Maybe that's why I'm not healing. So I changed from all that to a little bit of higher fat version of the raw vegan diet and no fruit. And oh boy, my health just went downhill. And when you said that you did the high fat raw vegan lifestyle for a while and it didn't help you, I resonated with what you said so much, because I was like so alone in this thing, having the hyperglycemia issue and having the fruit or not having it. I was like so confused. And I did that for 6 months or a year. And then I saw it wasn't working for me. My candida issues were like going much worse, and I wasn't getting any better. So I said, I'm just gonna go back to having fruits and no fats. So I did that for a while, also for another year, but still I wasn't getting the results I wanted to get. And then I was green juicing a lot, and I was doing pineapple juice fasts. I did for 2 weeks, and I did get benefits. I mean, my digestion was better. I had more energy. I was sleeping less, and I just my energy levels were much better. But still, I wasn't getting the results. And I did the water fast too for like 6 days. I mean, which is not so long, but and then the master fast. And since I'm on it, I mean, from the very first day, I had mucoid plaque coming out of me, and I had it for 10 days, for the first 10 days, and then it stopped. And then I think every week it was another thing. And then I think I had like some lucent acids, or I don't know what it is. I had this burning sensation, weird taste in my mouth. And that went on for another 2 weeks. And now I'm in a pretty good place, but I still do want to go for the 108 days.
Excellent.
Yeah, because I still have some type of hormonal issues, I think, because I'm getting a lot of acne here and on my chest. And that's something that I really want to heal deeply and not get anymore. And so I'm going to go for the whole 108 days. But for now, I'm in a really good place, and I wanted to share my experience with you. And
How are you feeling?
For sharing your wisdom.
You're welcome. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Today I'm doing dry fast. I have a lot of energy. I'm sleeping only 6 hours, and I have so much time for everything. It's just win-win-win situation for everything. I'm spending so few money for food. I'm on the Divine 9, by the way. And I'm like saving so much time, so much money. It's just win-win-win for everything. And I'm getting the health results that I've never got from raw vegan diet or juice fasting or water fasting. So I can't thank you enough for sharing your wisdom. It's been a blessing.
So people can take charge of their health. And, you know, a lot of us have been down a lot of these different paths and roads, and we're promised the world. And you're going to get benefits just when you start cleaning up your diet. And any type of fasting where you're going to, give the digestive system a rest. This is the key. But the raw juices is not where it's at, as we're finding out. Well, we know why you don't want to go that route. I don't advocate raw juice fast anymore. It's if you want to do some green juices, yeah, we use that for when people need to let off the gas. It was just too much for them on Master Fast. We put them on green juices, cool them off a bit. That's what the greens do really well. Cool you and ground you, and doing that 1 or 2 weeks usually solves people's problems that are in a severe healing reaction detoxification mode. But You know, we go to these doctors and they give us all these names, and we don't want these names. So you give them back to them. Body only sees imbalance and balance. That's all. We can't make it any easier. Language, first of all, is corrupted, so let's use as little as we can of it. But if you just work on that principle and give the body the time and put it in a place where it can do the healing, is what we're doing, it'll do it. It'll do it, as we're finding out. And, you know, the magic starts happening. There's no rocket science to what we're doing. It's so basic. But, you know, 108 days, we keep saying it scratches the surface, folks. It just scratches the surface. And it's hard for us to comprehend that. But when you look at the physical body in a 9-year cycle to replace every single cell, you'll have more of an understanding of where we're talking about. You know, and then you have the other astral bodies and the emotional bodies and so on and so forth. So, you know, it's a total thing that we need to work on, and you got to make it part of your life. If we're going to expect to jump in and do 108 days and solve all our problems, this is not for you. But just keep eating. We need to make a lifestyle choice. We need to change everything we do from A to Z. Time you go to sleep, time you wake up, time you eat, time you do other things, bathroom, whatever. Change everything. Leave the old life behind, and you'll see that you'll move towards the goals that you've written down. Make sure you write those goals, because it's power of the pen, it works. And we work towards that. But, you know, your problems will all be solved if that's your wish. Your wish is your command. It's really that simple. The biggest issues we have in our modern man is the buildup of things that are not found in nature, in our bodies, far from it. And to clean them out, nature's not enough anymore, as a lot of us are finding out and have found out. We need to go to the stars, I like to say, within, because the stars are not out there, the stars are within. And that's where the infinite source of all knowledge, connection to one creation is. So we go within, and how do we do that? We got to do it with fasting. And in the dry is where everything shines. And when you start getting information downloads and all that, once you've gotten to the stage where you start getting used to it. And for some of us, it could be weeks, some of us months, and some of us will be years before we really get into the habit of looking forward to your dry fast. And it'll come, because you feel so much better when you don't eat. Food is overrated. And we keep saying, you know, keep sharing, less is more in every which way. In the food, in the liquids, and even in the breath. Opposite of what we've been told. We even got to reduce the breathing. The longest living mammals breathe less breaths per minute. So if we can train ourselves, I've shared many times on different breath works. We need to learn all the different techniques, like to allow ourselves to master the breath so we don't need the breath anymore. That's all actually what the yogis taught, the old Vedic stuff. You know, there's examples of in their writings of old yogis had themselves buried for days or weeks or whatever. They mastered the breath. They don't need it. And then they dig them out and they're okay. How do they do that? They master the breath. So I'm nowhere near that. Sorry. I got to get into practicing more myself. But, you know, just when you start practicing and you get into it for just a few weeks, you're going to see improvements. In some people in a few days, when you start practicing different types of breathing. The breathing is crucial. And the slower you make your breath, the more you're going to get out of everything. And the healing, you'll take it to another level, especially if you're on a fast and you're doing the breath. Yeah, there's nothing but success in front of you. Nothing but success. Your wish will be your command. You know, digestive system, sleeping, perhaps very minimal with what we're doing, almost non-existent with the juice and the tinctures and the pudding. There's no real digestion happening. It's doing some work to move it through, but that material does not digest. It's just there for its reasons I've explained, to absorb and adsorb, and physically massage and help loosen things up and pull things out. You know, it's pretty funny that, how we've been ingrained with the medical system and almost forced to use it, because that's the only system here in Canada. If you want to, if you don't have any money, you're covered that way, and that's, people go through that system because they just don't have any money, they think, to do anything else. But here we are with master fasting, as you've just shared, you're saving money. And people look at the master fast and they say expensive, and I just nod my head. They're just not ready to heal, or they're never going to do it. That's all it is. It's just excuses. We can make all the excuses not to do something for our health, or we can make up all the reasons for why we need to do it and do it now. So we keep hearing the same things over and over, same questions over and over. And I'm going to give the same answers. Repetition is the mother of skill. Sometimes we need to hear things 5, 10, 100 times, and then we get it. It's the way we are. It's human nature. And that's how we've been brainwashed and conditioned. TVs, radios, now we have computers, hear a thing enough times, we start believing it, even if it's a lie. And the people that have influence in running this planet know all this, and they use it to their advantage to keep us dumbed down and under their control, even though we don't know it. More junk you eat, easier to control. Cleaner you are, you can see through all the bullshit very easily. Just like the people that are on master fast, they when they start getting into the few weeks, they start seeing the light. It's how can't you see that the nutrition stuff we've been taught is bullcrap? It's bullcrap. You can thrive on this system. You can thrive. We've proved it with many people. We had a pro athlete just finished 108 days training almost every day, and did a tournament, and threw up in the middle of a tournament, and returned and finished the tournament. Once you continue and make it part of your life, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. We're going to fall down. We're all human. We all have emotions. We're going to fall. When we fall, let's try and fall down gently. Let's not go for the real crappy stuff that's going to really make you hit a brick wall, based sort of say. There's ways to cheat, with some better cooked options or so on and so forth. That'll not put us in a horrific state that we don't want to be in. But the breath work is where it's at. I've actually been putting myself in overworked stress situations, trying to help so many people. I've been putting way too many hours in. Today was the first day I took many hours break off Facebook. I've talked about this last week. It gets challenging when you're dealing with so many people trying to help out their situations, and I've never experienced it at this level, helping the odd person here and there over the years. I didn't do it at this level. So, got to rearrange myself. I've been slacking off for yoga, slacking off for breath work, and it starts taking its toll. So you know, we all fall. We all fall. So we have to reconnect ourselves to our goals. My goal is to help as many people as I can, but if I'm not in a proper state, I can't help anybody. So I have to take my time out too. Vacation time, probably. It's 2 years sharing freely. 2 years, over 2 years now. How many hours I put a day? Whoa. I would have been rich if I was getting paid. But, you know, it's not what we're here for. We're here to help. And it's all amazing, the stories that we're hearing. Almost daily it's happening now. Groups gotten so big. The club's gotten big. Yeah, so the important things that we need to keep in our lives: breath work. Learn many different types and learn to master all the different types so you don't need it. We got to move. We got to move every day. You got to force yourself. Even when we don't want to, I've had times that I didn't even want to get out of the bed. And I told myself, nope, I got to do my yoga. And after the yoga with the breath work, you feel so much better. Big, big difference. So any type of movement, whatever it is, more than what you were normally used to, unless you already have it part of your life. If you're practicing yoga or doing some bike riding or jogging or walking or whatever. But, you know, make sure you're doing something every day. Something. The 5 Tibetan rites, you know, that'll help you. It'll only take you like 15 to 20 minutes. Once you reach 21 times, if I don't know if all of you know what the 5 Tibetan rites are, you can punch it in and look it up. 5 different exercises to help realign chakras and stuff. And I do those first, and then I do a little bit of yoga. So my practice is usually about an hour, sometimes a little bit less. And do that. Bike riding I haven't been doing because of the winter. So not the best time to do bike riding with the ice and snow and salt they put on the road. So that's been a few months that I've stopped. I missed that. The bike ride, I was doing 16 kilometers, and it's a hilly area. It's not flat. A lot of hills. So it takes me a good 45 minutes, I believe it was, for those 16 kilometers, which is about what?
10 miles.
10 miles, yeah. There you get very invigorated, and you know, learning to control the breath when you're doing the exercises is very important. It took me a while in yoga to be able to control the breath to some degree, and when you get out of the practice, you'll see right away. You have to relearn and build back up to it. So it's something that needs to be with us. So the breath work, the movement, very, very important. Make time for yourself, which I haven't been doing much of.
I actually found this chapter where, to back up what Gino is saying about the breath work, I have this book about the Babaji and the 18 yogis, 3 siddhas, they call them, perfect beings. And he has this really good portion. Now let me read it for you guys. The Tamil Siddhar Roma Rishi, in the 13th verse of his Song of Wisdom, sang, "If it goes, the span of life is reduced. If it does not go, it will not go." Here, it refers to prana or life energy. Roma Rishi is saying in this verse that the span of life will be reduced if one loses one's pranic energy or life force, but that if it does not go, one's life will continue indefinitely. He states that one need not die if the pranic life force is not lost, but increased and drawn from the cosmic source, conquering death and fate. This has been referred to as the law of inverse proportions by Yogi Ramaya, who noted that the span of life is inversely related to the rate of breathing. During Roma Rishi's time, the normal span of life was 120 years, and the normal person breathed 21,600 times per day. That is 15 respirations per minute. If the rate of breathing is, however, 18 per minute, the span of life will be about 96 years. If, because of poor living habits and needless expenditure of energy, the average rate of breathing is 30 per minute, the lifespan will be only 60 years. However, if the rate is slowed through yogic practices and self-control to an average of only 5 respirations per minute, the lifespan will be 360 years. If it is 1 per minute, the lifespan will increase to 1,800 years. And if the rate of breathing is reduced to 0, the lifespan becomes infinity. Yogi Ramaya has pointed to examples from the study of modern zoology which confirm the law of inverse proportions. The sea turtle lives to an age of more than 300 years and breathes at a rate of 4 to 5 respirations per minute. Other animals such as frogs, mice, bears go into hibernation during the winter and their breathing is drastically reduced during that time.
There you go. Less is more. A lot of 9s in there.
9s?
Yeah, the numbers.
360.
Yeah.
216,000 million, whatever it was.
Well, of course, it's divine numbering, right?
You can't get away from divine 9. It's part of creation.
So this is all fits into
Breath work. Yeah. Very, very important. Movement, breath work.
and cleaning the GI tract allows to breathe less because now you don't need to support all that crap inside.
Everything becomes more efficient. Yeah, that's why you sleep less. You have more energy, usually, unless you're having your healing reactions. You're taking the load. When you remove these obstructions, you're taking the body's power consumption way down, because the body's continuously removing obstructions. We can't stop it or we die. When we exhale, what are we doing? We're exhaling a gas that the body doesn't need. We call it a gas, but it's in a plasmatic state. Out of our skin, out of our pores, we have continuously, the body's removing obstructions. Urinating, we're removing obstruction. Going to number 2, we're continuously obstruction, get out of our ears, out of our eyes, out of our nose, where the body's continuously removing obstructions. And that uses your vital energy. V equals P take away O. Vitality, this is Arnold Laheric's formula, vitality equals power take away obstructions. When the body has to use power to remove obstructions, your vitality goes down. When the body has to use almost no power because there's less obstructions or no obstructions, your vitality goes way up. It's a simple, powerful formula that he came up with and is very valid if you understand it. That's why we can't solve any illnesses with adding things to our diet. It's a fallacy. It's a fallacy. We have to subtract. We can't remove obstructions by adding. So what do? We do a systematic type of cleanse, and because we're so toxic, we got to aid it. So we have breath, we have movement, we have to clean obstructions. And fasting is the best way to clean because if you keep adding, if you keep eating, the body is not in a complete elimination mode. As soon as you stop digestion, it goes into that elimination mode. Purging mode from head to toe. And the longer you stay away from digestion, the more intense that purging, the cleansing happens, depending on what's in your body, in the physical and the emotional, because they both have extreme influence, especially the emotional, as people are finding out when they get on the long fast. So we have to get into these long breaks, vacations from eating, stomach vacation, digestion vacation, to allow the body to get into this powerful elimination mode. As soon as you stop eating, it happens. Every night when we go to sleep, we're dry fasting. So the body's going into that elimination mode. That's why a lot of people wake up and have mucus and stuff in their eyes. The body's working to eliminate continuously, especially when you fast. When you're awake and you're eating it, you don't get all that. When you sleep, you're dry fasting, the body started. So that's why we extend that every day, to allow it to do these cleanses more hours per day. And, reduce our feeding time, so we have less power that the body has to use. The more power it uses, breath work or eating or whatever, vitality goes down. So we want to reverse. So we subtract and get rid of the obstructions so the vitality goes up. Breath, movement, cleaning. And the cleaning is a huge part to allow the healing to happen. When you're in these elimination modes and the waste obstructions start coming out, the body somehow, magically, starts to heal itself. And it'll do it in the order of importance it thinks it needs to do it. You don't need to do any work and put it in any order for it, or try to, because you're going to fail every time. It has more intelligence than all the minds on our planet put together on how to heal. And that's where you need to keep the faith and the trust and to move forward, which a lot of people don't have, that we're witnessing over and over. They just don't have the confidence in believing that the body can and will heal itself when you put it in its state. That's the only way, the only time I've experienced miraculous healing. It's fasting. I did thousands of dollars of herbs while eating, and all I seen was very minimal results with that. Waste of money. Unless somebody's so chronic that they've done their 108 days and they still have so many issues. They still need to support with herbs when they're eating. But I say, why go back to eating? Why go back to eating if you're not healed? If you have such a chronic state, why are you eating? Ask yourself, why are you eating? What's preventing you from keep going to solve the issue? We just did the interview with Martin. I hope you guys listened to it. He's coming up to a year in Master Fast. He took one small break for a couple of weeks. A few meals, smoothies, fruit smoothies. And he's not considering going back to food, but how bad do you want health? That's the question you can only answer. You can only answer. We cannot answer that for you. So we have all this inherent wisdom within ourselves, without a thought, without anything. The body can heal itself. If we look at the simple thing, like we cut ourselves, we don't have to do anything. The body heals it. But when we have these severe imbalances, diseases, whatever they want to call them, issues, why doesn't the body heal itself when we're eating? Because food is our problem, which leaves obstructions. And all that effort of the body using that power to process it and try and remove these obstructions and so on and so forth. It just doesn't have that same state of healing at the very high levels. It has to be done through fasting. All animals do it. When they get injured or sick, they go off in a corner and they don't move until they're healed. And they dry fast. They don't water fast. They don't go searching for water. They dry fast. But animals do use herbs as well. Many animals. They use herbs. They use herbs for different things, many different things. But when they're severely ill and they're injured, they're gonna fast. They're gonna fast. And they either heal or they die, and that's the design to carry on the species. So only the strong can survive in nature. For humans, we're going backwards. We're getting weaker and weaker surviving from our lifestyle choices. The animals kingdom is also being affected by a man's gluttony and destroying Mother Earth. All their habitat is all affected negatively through man's doings. And the animal kingdom is getting affected negatively from that, and they're paying the price. And hopefully we can get some peace happening to reverse all this, because if man just left everything alone, everything would go back to balance. Man is imbalanced. Man is the imbalance on this planet. So it's pretty sad, but we are the ones that have caused all the havoc and imbalance on this planet. It's not difficult to understand that everything will correct itself. It's just a matter of time. Nature will fix everything. No problem at all. But now with plasma science, we have ways of solving all man's issue, including radiation, the worst stuff that we thought there was no solutions for it. We have solutions for it. GMO seeds, we can revert them back to their original strain. How's that? Magic. Not magic when you understand creation. Put them in some GANS water, plant them, the GMO's gone. Gone. So Monsanto, your days are numbered. And all the other genetically modified corporations out there, their days are numbered. All those billions they spent developing that bullcrap patent to only destroy and imbalance everything, the time is limited. It's a wonderful time to be alive. Hopefully we'll get to see it. Bring balance and peace and harmony back. So yeah, we get to these high states of allowing the body bring itself back into balance by taking a long digestive vacation. And to remove these obstructions are very, very challenging. If you're just going to do it with like a water fast, some of you may have tried some long water fasts. They're very challenging to do, very hard on the body, very stressful on the kidneys. Nobody gets kidney filtration on water fasting. They get results, yeah, but it's not where it's at. It's not found in nature. Animals don't water fast. It doesn't sound right to me. If it's taken care by a human, probably have water there and food as well. Try and force them to eat and go against their what they know they need to do. For our physicality, we have to put a lot of emphasis on cleaning our GI tracts. That's the root of all our obstructions, all in there. And you'll notice once you start clearing the GI tract, even your breathing will be easier. You're more efficient. If you're doing breath work, you will notice your breath work will be much easier when you're not eating, much easier. And if you overeat, it's almost impossible to do any breath work because the breath work needs to be down here, down low, not up here. The breath work should actually be right between the genitals. That's where you need to pull your breath into. The same, what do they call that muscle? Where you squeeze in yoga between the genitals?
PC muscle, perineal.
Yeah, that's the one. Perineal? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Yeah, that muscle there, when you're doing breath work, you should be squeezing that muscle. Same as when you're doing yoga. Pull the breath into that. And you're going to notice, even in martial arts, they use that to get the power. It's in that breath. It's not lots of air movement. No, it's pulling the energy from within, because we don't need external sources. We have it all within. And this is the challenge for us to believe where all this energy is coming from. We're moving every second of the day, mostly, Things are happening, body's functioning, heart's going. This is consuming energy continuously, lots of energy. But it's a subtle electric energy if you measure it, very subtle. But it's a lot of power, infinite source of power. You can access these sources of power. An example, a baby gets trapped or a child gets trapped under a car and a mother lifts the car up to save the child. You've heard these stories, they've happened. Where does that energy come from? Think about it. Where does that energy come from? For a little woman to be able to lift the car up. It's happened. Not only, there's quite a few stories like this. They'll say adrenaline and this and that. They don't know what they're talking about. They're looking at matter. You ain't going to get that power from matter. No way. No way. These are the inner sources of infinite energy supply. It's infinite. If we can just learn to access one nanoparticle, we have the potential of the sun. One. We're made of trillions and trillions and trillions of these nanoparticles, our whole body. So if we can access one, we can power the whole planet, basically. No problem. One. And we have trillions of them. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So that GI tract, folks, is where it's at to help access movement in the obstruction throughout the physical body. A lot of people are going on a massive fast and their whole head becomes plugged. Their ears become plugged. And then they start eating and it goes away. It's because when you're eating, that movement of the stagnations is starting to happen. And, you feel plugged up and everything, but this is good news when you're on the fast. Ear candles, get some energy flowing. We want these things to happen. We want change. When you're on a fast, any change is good news. Doesn't matter what it is. Severe pains, cramping, itchiness, anything that you didn't have before, as long as you didn't have it and it's a change, it's positive. And it might not be fun. It might not be fun. Temporary paralysis, temporary blindness. Your sense of smell goes away. Your taste buds, you start tasting weird things. All good news. Learn to accept and understand that the body knows what it's doing. It has the intelligence to heal itself. And this is where so many of us fail to keep that faith. And how do we know that? By the questions people ask. It's simple. Every little thing, people are asking questions, and it's okay, but we need to gain that understanding and have that faith and trust that it's all okay. The biggest issue that's a challenge when we're on these deep cleanses and we're getting a major healing reaction and we can't breathe. That's a problem. If you haven't mastered the breath, we still need to breathe. So that's the biggest challenge one for a lot of us is having problems breathing. We have the tools. First thing you ever do, any kind of healing reaction, any emotion that you're going crazy, angry, sad, crying, go grab that enema bag. Pains, whatever. Enema bag. Breathing, if you do an enema, you usually can restore your breathing. How do I know? I've experienced it. And the colon is the third lung. Colon is the third lung. When they do operations on a lung or lungs, they put oxygen into the colon to keep you alive. Colon is the third lung. Adrenals are a big part of it, but the colon, if you clear it out, you will see you'll be able to breathe better, usually. And if it's not 1 or 2 or 3 enemas, just keep going. If there's really a problem that you can't breathe, you're trying to force yourself, using your acupressure points for breath work, adrenals, and so on and so forth. You go on the chart, I don't remember them all, but there's many acupressure points to help you for breathing problems, depending what it is. Use them with the burn stick. And you should be able to recover yourself with enemas and doing the acupressure points. If you can't, you're going to have to go to ER and get stabilized because there's something in your emotion that's keeping you from finding the balance to be able to breathe again. It's all emotion, all emotion. And the board, get on the board because sometimes when you're in these states, you can't think properly. And that's why a support system is crucial. And we have a fantastic support system, 24 hours. There's somebody always there to be able to help somebody in need. That's what the board is there for. That's what the club is there for. We need that so much. And, being in society, there's a lot of us experienced when we're losing weight and so on and so forth. We're trying to heal ourselves. We're being condemned and we're being told that we're crazy and all kinds of stuff. And they want to put us away in mental institutes and so on. And so it's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. But this is where you need to have that understanding and that faith when you're going through these severe healing reactions. I don't call them crisis. No such thing. No such thing. Body knows what it's doing. You may believe it's a crisis because you don't have the faith and understanding, but there's no such thing. And if it's time to go, it's time to go. And you have to accept that. But, with a little bit of wisdom, we can turn things around in these heavy, heavy times. And, it would be great if you have a team of people so everybody's well versed in emergency situations and so on and so forth, what to do to assist. Because we really want to avoid emergency ER rooms. I don't know if you guys know, but it's the most dangerous place to be. Hospitals and doctors have killed more people than all the wars put together. It's a fact. So, just walking into a hospital with an ingrown toenail, you can end up in a body bag. Get some kind of virus or whatever. It's crazy the stories you hear. And that happens every day. Every minute there's somebody getting killed in the hospital by improper procedures, mistakes, whatever. So we want to avoid ER as much as we can. But if we are going to be going to ER, what do you do when you get there? Anything they want to do to you, you ask a million questions. Ask a million questions. And keep asking questions. Anytime they want to give you something, you keep asking questions. Is it necessary? Is there anything less toxic? Well, you just keep asking questions. and keep asking and keep asking. And some of these people don't like it because they're of high intellect. They're educated. I went through it when I was bringing my dad back and forth. One pharmacist told me, I wish everybody would ask questions. I go, don't people ask questions? She goes, no, nobody. I go, really? They just accept everything you guys do? Yeah. I was in shock. So ask questions. And the more intelligent questions you ask, usually you'll get your own answers. But when if you have to go to these situations for whatever reason, ask questions, folks. Ask questions. And let them do whatever they need to do to help try and stabilize you with minimal amount of things, and then get yourself out of there as quickly as you can, and get back on doing what you need to do to allow the body to heal. Because anything they do, stabilizing, ain't going to help you. Stabilizing, yeah, they can stabilize you. And what they do is not what they do that is helping you. It's that anything they introduce into the body is usually a shock to the body, and the body goes into an overdrive system to be able to rebalance itself, and that's the effect you're getting. Your body's doing the work, not them. It's always your body, always. So why go there in the first place? Learn to trust and understand so you can avoid these. Use the tools and back off on green juices, as we discussed, if you have to. You don't have to be a hero. Some of us may not be able to stick to all the great because it's such a powerful cleanser. If you have to back off on green juice for a week, a few days, or 2 weeks, by all means, do that. A few of us have had to, and it's okay. No problem. Continue. Keep going. If you're not healed, why are you eating? Ask yourself those questions. If you're not healed, why are you eating? Hey, well, we love to eat. We're addicted to food.
Well, actually, after the fast, you gain a bit of an appreciation for food at first, right? And then kind of overeat, and then you feel the pain, and then you kind of think, okay, if I kind of don't overeat, maybe I'll be okay.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And once we beat ourselves enough, we may discontinue and learn from it. But, we all do it. We're in a society that we're surrounded by food. Everything revolves around food. Eventually, everybody's going to fall here and there, and it's okay. If you do, enjoy every bite to the fullest, and then get back on track. That's why we need our resets, our daily or weekly resets of dry fasting. So important. Can never leave dry fasting out of your life. If you do, you're gonna go back to where you were. Dry fasting is so important. And that's what Master Fast is built around, dry fasting. And we need to push ourselves in that state, because that's where the real magic happens. When we completely stop everything, the body has access to everything. And that's, it's so simple. And so many people miss it. And, they go through certain things. Oh, you're missing this from your diet. You're lacking this, and you're not lacking anything. The body knows what it's doing. It's purging. Anytime you get a cramp, this and that, it's doing work. It may not be comfortable. I had cramps in my feet for like 2 weeks. In the middle of the night, I would have to grab my foot with all my force to avoid the cramp. That's how bad it was. And then it was gone completely, disappeared. So what was I lacking? I still was fasting. These are the myths that people come up with. You're lacking things. You're not lacking anything. Look how many people reported their hair and their nails and their skin gets better. And they're not doing anything. They're not taking nutrition. We're drinking cooked juice. It's dead. 40 to everybody. It's dead. It's got no enzymes, it's got no nothing. It's dead. You know, I mean, the post about people eating all kinds of diets. And people, like some people are living on, like, let's say pasta and bread, 95% of their diet. They may have a couple of tomatoes on a pizza or something. How are these people living? Okay, some of them may not be healthy, but some of them live to 90, 100 years. I go back home in Italy, there's a lot of them in that age group. A lot of them I've met. And some of them are sharp. How are they doing it? How are they doing it? Even eating those foods, how are they doing it?
Stress, no stress,
A
emotions.
lot of these, right, we're looking at food, but food is one small thing. But it's a big thing because it causes so much obstructions. But the intent and emotion is the biggest player. And, you know, the environment dictates outcome. Our environment within our body and our surrounding environment will dictate the income, the outcome, sorry. So, you know, it just boggles the mind when you listen to science about nutrition and vitamins and minerals. These guys that have been living on pasta and bread their whole life, pretty much, and into their 90s, 100, some of them, I've met them, a lot of them. Where do they get their nutrition? All this stripped flour they're eating. Where are they getting their nutrition? Think about that, folks. Where are they getting their nutrition? There isn't anything in there. It's glue, basically. But these guys, I met some, I would boggle my mind. This lady's 100, sharp, walking around, aches and pains, yeah, but eating pasta every day. What we've been told is all lies. That's the only conclusion I come to. It's maybe not all, 99%. There's a little bit of thread of truth in what they tell us. You know, it's really funny. You look at all the different races, all the different cultures, all the different diets. And in all these cultures, a lot of them have people living to 90, 100s and over. Even in North America, with all the sad eating, fast food eating, there's still people that will reach 90s or 100 eating crap foods. Now, you know, today, the newer generations, we're getting weaker and weaker, and you're going to see less of that unless things change. But people were doing it. And it just goes to show you how powerful the human body mind is. And it's not only about food. That's why we get rid of the food and we have access to everything. The food is a small avenue. You know, I was that raw as law. Now I know that it's not true. Some people claim it is still, and they'll fight to death for it. God bless them. But I have absolutely 100% faith that raw is not law. 100%. Why do people get better when they eat raw foods? It has to be with the obstruction factor. The food they eat is less obstructive. Simple. Less obstructions, it'll go through you, and it'll help pull out some of the obstructions that the body has, that has interference in the energy flows. So, you know, we're doing it with cooked juice and herbs. And the key there with this cooked juice, if you were to try and measure the power, the cleansing power that it has, and not only cleansing power, energetic power. Calories is another bullshit. It's not calories. It's not calories. It's in a state of gravitational magnetic field strength plasma is where you're getting your energy when you're using that juice with the lemon. And the cleansing power is so strong that people who want to do it as a juice fast, I will not support them, because it's not a juice fast. It's just one of the tools we use to purge. And if you were, like I was going to say, if you measure that, the raw grape juice, the same one versus the cooked one, I don't think you can measure it, how much more powerful it is. It's there's a factor that people don't consider, which is your intent and emotion. How powerful do you want it to make it be? You want to make it be the actual juice to cleanse you. That's the most important factor. And even without that factor, it still works, because we're dealing on an energetic value versus the matter state. We're using the matter to carry the energetic value through us. But how powerful do you want or need that cleanse to be for you is what you need to ask. And then connect to it and allow it to happen, because your wish is your command. You write down your goals. This is how it all connects. When you write, that's a form of plasma, has a gravitational magnetic field. As soon as you think, that's a gravitational magnetic field. It's got a fingerprint. It's a certain strength. You write it down, it has a different strength, because you put it in matter state. From the plasmatic state, you've manifested it. How do things get invented? Look all around you. Computer, clothes, furniture, cars, animals, plants. They all started from a thought. And through emotion and intent, they were manifested in matter state. That's how it all works. It's simple. And it's just a certain field strength, you'll create a certain thing. It's just like an individual fingerprint, no two alike. No two stars in the universe alike. Everything has a certain fingerprint field strength. It's not frequency. That's matter state. It's field strength. A certain gravitational pull and a certain magnetical give. Continuously interacting with all the other plasmas around you and throughout the universe. We're continuously interacting with all of them. If you think of Mars, we're interacting with Mars. That's that instant. There's no time space. When you're in your dream state and you want to be somebody, somewhere, or meet somewhere, you're instant. It happened instant. You're connecting to that field strength. You're riding on that gravitational magnetic wave flow. So as soon as you think about it, you tapped into that, bang, you're there. You're there. So we can do that in the matter state as well. But the issue is that most of us have been brainwashed so much, we don't believe it. Subconsciously, we don't believe it. We're talking about it. We know it can happen. I believe it can happen wholeheartedly. But something behind there is locking us from it. So this is why we do a systematic fast. Make it part of our life. So we retrain, so we get our memory back. Because we were in that energetic state at one time with no matter. We were all there to come into matter. You can't create or destroy energy. You can only transform it. So everything already was and already is, and it always shall be. So we can only transform different energies. So we chose to come into the matter state for a certain experience, whatever it is. So you want to access, a certain field strength. As soon as you think about it, it's there, it's done. It's instantaneous. Our nervous system, it's nano-coding. Nano-coding, we teach how to do with copper and so on forms a black coating. And that nano coating, it's a superconductor and a super insulator. You can have a coil that's nano coated running 220 volts through it, and you can pick it up and you won't get electrocuted. I've done it. I've done it in Italy. Live 220 volts. You won't get electrocuted because it's a superconductor and super insulator. What does that mean? When you make these nano coating, what a nano coating is, it's got nanoparticles. In each particle is holding a position through a gravitational magnetic field strength. Like you get two magnets, you get the two sides that are similar, they repel. So if you grab them, they won't go close. They'll hold position. That's what we call it. If you turn it around, they'll attract. So all the planets circulating are holding their position through these gravitational magnetic fields. Just like our blood cells, same thing. So by holding these positions, you can lock into any one of them, and then you interact with these field strengths. It's amazing, you know, that we need to go back and remember, because for some reason there's a memory loss when we come into matter state, and we don't remember this stuff. A few of us do, a few clairvoyants can access it and so on, but it's strange that we forget it all. Memory's gone, just like that. And we go through our life trying to figure out why we're here and so on and so forth, and where we're going to go after and all that. Very interesting. You know, we don't, I don't know 100%, but we know there's no death. That's for sure. Because people can communicate with the other side. And I have a cousin who does that. And it's impossibility to know certain things when they're communicating with them. So it's when you don't know a person and you're starting to say things from the person that passed that they know, you know, you have to understand everything's energy. And we can tap into every single soul that's ever existed, because they're all always have existed since the beginning of time. We can tap into any one of these plasmatic energy fields and know their experience and their purpose. So if we wanted to tap into Christ, we can experience that whole energetic experience that he had. Buddha, we can experience it. We can tap into that. It's all fingerprints. We need to remember how to do it. We need to relearn it. I don't know. You know, like I said, we've been so conditioned and brainwashed and dumbed down that for some reason it's we have a blockage there to access it. I find myself, when I do the long drive fast, I get a lot of information coming through me. A lot of information. It just keeps pouring through. So we definitely know that, you know, for some of us can do while we're eating, but when we're fasting, it opens up so much more, so much more. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. So we need to build our belief system and our trust. And we do it slowly. So that's what Master Fast System is. It's a training ground to re-access to our source of one creation. That's all it is, training ground. Some of us will take it really far. Some of us will take it not so far, and some of us will play around with it, and some of us will never do it. It's not for everybody. There's many avenues and ways, I guess, to reach your destination. And we're all here for different purposes. So, in our training ground, let's see how far we can go to re-access all this information. Because it's all information, these field strengths, it's all information. When you're in a knowing, there's no words to describe. The languages are limited, so limited. All the languages. Some were probably better than others, like the original Sanskrit and so on and so forth. But our languages are so limited, so limited. Like when you give somebody a hug, do you need to say anything? No. There's a knowing through the energy exchange. And that's what we're talking about. Reconnecting to our source to access that knowing about the all-knowing. Anything you want to know, it's already there. We just have to access it. And through many, many years of fasting, I was able to access some information to be able to help myself heal through teachers and through my own information of being able to access my own information. My own. It's not mine. None of the information's ours. It's all there. There's no secrets in the universe, folks. You can try and keep secrets, but there's no such thing. There's no veils in space, time. We are open books. Our emotions are in front. And the reason man is not in space is because we're not in a peaceful race. As soon as we become a peaceful race, we'll be allowed to enter the universal community. And that's what we're trying to share and do by getting on these cleanses so we have a better understanding to want to bring things back in balance and peace on this planet. Because most people, 99.99% of people, want peace. Nobody wants controversy. Like it's very, 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 very small percentage that actually want controversy. And even those ones there, if we clean them up, they'd probably want peace. So, so many people have shared how much more peaceful they are when they get rid of all that gunk. So many. Because that crap inside of us is just constantly irritating us at different levels. And the sooner we get it out, the better we feel. Yeah, obstructions. Some of us have released quite a bit. It still boggles my mind what people release. It's wow, holy crap. Where does it end? Who knows? I don't know. I don't care anymore. I've seen so much come out. I don't even pay attention myself. I got bored of it. Where does it stop? I don't know. I guess when we completely stop eating, it's amazing. Oh, we have Linda join us.
I have a question here, Jordan. Do you think it would be a good idea to add infrared saunas to help lymph move? Yeah,
I have an infrared sauna. I don't use them much anymore, but I like them. Since we don't know 100% of their safety in the long term, which when we're playing with matter things, we never know. There's safe things to do to protect yourself. Nano copper materials, put them inside there, some ganses. Don't worry about it, use them. They balance fields out, even if they're not proper. Use it. I don't recommend people doing saunas dry fasting. I experimented with it. It's too taxing on the body, way too taxing. Even for some people on the master fast, it may be taxing on them, especially if they don't have experienced the using saunas. You got to be careful. You got to be careful because we're already in a dehydrated state, and you can't switch from dehydrated to hydrated state in 108 days. You can improve it slightly, but it takes time, folks. It takes time. So be careful. Maybe the best time would be in the middle of your weekly dry. So you have some hydration after your dry and do your sauna, and then you have some hydration after. I wouldn't be going crazy on the master fast with them. Unless you've been using it for a while, then you'd be able to handle it more often. Once a week, twice a week. I don't think I'd be wanting to do much more than that. Is that it?
Yep. Anybody
Any
has
other
a question?
questions?
Anyone has a question?
I just have something to share.
Excellent. Go ahead.
So, tomorrow will be a week since I broke my 108 and had that watermelon. It was so good. Yesterday I had about almost 4 oranges. Oh my gosh. It was so delightful.
In heaven.
And today, it's just amazing. I mean, I'm still dry fasting about 16, 18 hours a day. Wow. And today I'm juicing it. It just resonates, it's just like, okay, I'm just doing a juice day today.
Nice.
So,
amazing.
That's what you need to do. You need to go by feel, not by mind. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. It really is, I don't mean to simplify this darn protocol, but it is so damn simple.
Yeah.
It's so simple. People make it way harder than it has to be. Yeah. So.
Exactly, and that's why when people say, "I don't understand it," I don't know how much simpler I can make it.
Nope.
I don't know. But anyway,
Yep.
You want to share a little bit of your story, Linda?
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, I've kind of got my testimony started writing, but
okay.
my daughter has a big test this week in engineering school, and so I took the grandkids. We were out all day today, and so I didn't get it finished, but I'll probably post that tomorrow. But so in 2003, I was diagnosed with kidney cancer, and I'm a registered nurse, cardiac registered nurse. I work in critical care, worked in open heart surgery for years, and then just critical care. And anyway, so I did the usual. The urologist said, "Oh, let's take it out." I'm going, "Yeah, let's take that puppy out." So had it taken out, asked if I was supposed to do anything different. And he said, "Nope, you've got another kidney and it's working perfectly. You're good to go." So the one thing that he did tell me to do, which I was very grateful for once I realized why, and how effective the distilled water was. He said, "I don't want you drinking anything or cooking with anything but distilled water." So for 11 years, that's all I did. I drank distilled water and I cooked with distilled water. And I bought a tabletop distiller, and that's what I used. No enemas, no herbs, no anything else. I didn't change my American diet or anything like that.
And sorry, who told you that? The doctor?
The urologist, yes.
Urologist, okay.
And so, and I think that's why it took 11 years for the tumors to come back, because, with what I know about distilled water and how cleansing it is at the cellular level and at the tissue level and whatever, it just works that way. It just is, pulls all the inorganic minerals out of your tissues and your cells, and you dispose of it through your urine. And so anyways, but that being said, now knowing what I know, how dehydrating water is, it just, it's just not necessary. It's not necessary. But anyway, so that's now, that was then. So then back in 2014, I had a huge mass. It was about the size of a large orange where my right kidney used to be. And the first surgery, I had 2 surgeries within 3 months of each other back in 2003. The first doctor didn't take out the tumor. He just basically wedged my kidney and had it sent to the lab, and the pathologist sent back the information back into surgery and said, nope, it's all clear. So he put my tumor and my kidney back in and sewed me up. So with the cancer, and so unfortunately, even though he knew I was a registered nurse and very arrogant, and he refused to do another CAT scan or an ultrasound. And I was in the hospital for 5 days because, they cut you in half when they do kidney surgery. I had to have 2 ribs removed. Whoa. And, it was pretty major surgery. Anyways, so he refused. So I was not smart enough to keep him on my side and get a referral for a second opinion. I fired the jerk. So by the time I got in to see the other urologist, it was 3 months later because I did not have a referral. And it had grown and attached to my latissimus dorsi muscle in my back. And that's the muscle where you twist, you can turn your whole waist. And so I had when I had surgery, because it had grown so big, I had to have surgery, and they had to dissect a lot of that muscle out. Wow. And so it was the recovery period for that second surgery was like 18 months. I couldn't wear underwear because I had such nerve damage done. I couldn't wear anything but a shift dress because anything touching that side was like a gazillion needles sticking, into my tissue, my skin. Anyway, so that being said, that surgery was really a major life changer in the sense of not trusting doctors, not trusting doctors. But I knew John, the urologist, because I worked with him in, the hospital where I worked at.
We're losing you.
And so I trusted his, huh? Can you hear me okay?
Okay, now we can hear you. We lost you for a bit.
Okay. So, but I told the urologist that and he did right by me. He gave me pain medication. The first surgeon only gave me 15 Vicodin, and I couldn't even breathe. I was hyperventilating. But anyways, onward. So in 2014, when I went to my nurse practitioner and I said, I don't know what this mass is. I don't know if it's another tumor. And she said, well, I think, when was your last CAT scan? And mind you, I had CAT scans every 6 months for 5 years because of that tumor being so large. John Bowie was really worried about, the tumor coming back. So he kept I had CAT scans every 6 months, Gino. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so
you said?
It was like the size of a small cantaloupe.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was huge. And anyways, it was all encased, which was awesome. But it attached, it actually grew its blood supply into my muscle.
Yeah.
So that's what, they had, anyways, it was major. They didn't have to remove the ribs, of course, because they were already out. So that was a good plus, but yeah, it was insane. Anyway, so, back in 14, when I went to see Linda, I felt this mass and I'm going, I don't know what this is. It bothers me when I sit in my car because I have the bolsters. And so she said, well, it's been 5 years since you've had your CAT scan. I think we should do another CAT scan. So we did. And, Yep, it was all scar tissue, 100% scar tissue, but there was a tumor on my left kidney. So if I hadn't had that happen, I wouldn't have found the tumor, because kidney cancer is a silent killer. You don't know you have kidney cancer until it's metastasized to your bones in your brain. So I was grateful, and I was scared in the beginning, and then I was angry. I was really angry. And my oldest son, Nathan, told me, he goes, Mom, you got to watch Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. You got to look up Max Gerson. You got to do this. You got to do that. Because where my tumor was right behind the ureter and the blood supply to the kidney. So Dr. Bowie goes, well, we have to probably remove the whole kidney. And I go, well, that means dialysis. And I worked in the units, and I know what people look like on dialysis. You know, I know I'm in my 60s, but I'm a young 60, and that's not the way I want to live. I just would rather die. So anyways, needless to say, I researched all that. You know, I watched the Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead movie. I researched Max Gerson. I went on a 35-day green juice fast. I weighed almost 190 pounds when I was first diagnosed in 2014. And you'll see the picture tomorrow when I post it, what I look like.
Awesome.
And,
Awesome. Keep going.
Yeah. So anyways, and then, so what happened was I lost a lot of weight. I went to the Gerson Clinic in April, started doing 5 coffee enemas a day, 13 juices a day. I was up to 168 supplements a day. Tumor never went anywhere smaller than 3.4 by 2.8. It originally was 4.8 by 3.9. And when I started on the Gerson, when I had my ultrasound, I had the CAT scan first in February of 14. And in every 3 months, my nurse practitioner ordered me an ultrasound. God bless her soul. So every 3 months, I got to keep tabs on what the tumor was doing and if the protocol that I was doing was working. And so it got really big. It got 5.1 by 4.9, got really big, that first ultrasound. But I knew that when tumors are starting to, you know, get worked out and disintegrate, they get inflamed. It's a very normal process. So I wasn't really scared about it. I felt so good. I was losing so much weight. I felt really good. But what happened was it never went away, Gino. I was on the Gerson for 9 months. I never waxed and waned. 13 juices a day, 5 coffee enemas a day, all those supplements. I was married to my house. I went somewhere twice. Went and saw my grandson's soccer.
How big were the juices?
They were anywhere from 12 to 16 ounces each.
That's a lot of liquid.
A lot of liquid. One every hour, and then the Hippocrates soup, a lot of potatoes, tomatoes, celery root, different herbs, parsley and cilantro in the soup, and then I'd have a little bit of a salad, maybe a sliver of watermelon, maybe a small bunch of grapes, maybe 2 slices of oranges. That was all the fruit we could have because they don't believe in fruit.
Yeah.
So
they believe in nutrition, right? More and more and more. That's why you're doing all those supplements and juices.
Yep. And never did anything. So anyway, so I went on and on and on, and I tried water fasting in the summer of 15. I got up to a 21-day water fast, did, really well with it, lost a lot of weight. My daughter freaked out because I was living here in Texas at the time. And so I came off that. And then I found Morse in November. And I researched him for quite a while, watched several of his videos. In the end of December, I decided to do a 35-day grape diet. So I did 35 days of grapes. I found you the end of, probably in the middle of February, and researched your protocol, researched what you were about, what you were doing. I'm going, this looks like this, huh?
Who's this wacko?
No, I go, well, this is a different level. This is a different take on, fasting. But what intrigued me the most, Gino, was the dry fasting. And being a nurse, I'm a researchaholic. So I researched dry fasting, and when I found that article from that Russian, retreat gal, I can't remember, Anna, her name is, oh my gosh, and I posted it on our page a couple of times, and I think even Gabriella shared it also. Mm-hmm. That was the turning point in my life. It made so much sense what our body does when we don't feed or give it any fluid. Yeah. It was like, oh my gosh, this is the magic bullet. And so I went all in, and the rest is history. I had a scan done in December of 2015. The tumor was 4.9 by 3.8. No, it's 3.9 by 4.2. And in August, I had an ultrasound done, and it was 0.3 centimeters. Gone. And in December, when I went back to Oregon, same size, but a little smaller. And the radiologist that I know, Mark, he goes, it's just probably scar tissue, and it'll probably dissolve. It'll take a little while, but it'll go. Right. So God bless you. God bless you.
You did all the work.
But you led the way, honey. You put it out there for people, like me to read and study and believe. Believing is 90% of the whole process.
Look at yourself and all the other stories, and we have so many skeptics still. I don't know what's going to.
Yeah, it's just so different. It's so different than anything you've ever heard. I mean, I battled with this for over a year, almost 2 years before I even found Dr. Morris and learned about fruit and, watched his videos, and I'm going, wow, that is so odd. Fruit is healing. We're supposed to eat fruit. Wait a minute. This goes against everything I've learned.
And we're saying don't eat anything, take everything away.
Yep.
Don't drink water.
I know. And the thing of it is our bodies actually thrive not eating or drinking. My body thrives without fluid or food. It really does. I feel better when I dry fast than when I'm eating and drinking. So, yeah. It's
just a retraining and getting back to access everything we have within. That's it. And it's an irony that we're doing opposite of everybody else. I tell people completely opposite. Even exercise. Everybody else in the healing, natural healing, you got to rest. No. We're doing the opposite. And we're getting the best results with people.
Yeah, it's really strange how so many people are so skeptical whether they can work and do this particular protocol. And it's like, oh my gosh, how can you not? You got to try.
Yeah, you just go for it because you don't know. There's going to be cases where, they're going to have really down days and so on and so forth. But we got tools.
Yep. And the honey is one of the things, grab a little spoon of honey.
Exactly.
If you need a little oomph, do the honey. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah,
bam.
Or maple syrup for vegans or whatever.
Right, exactly.
I put a lot of thought into trying to be able to support every single aspect of what we're doing. If you haven't noticed.
Yes. Well, and what I appreciate, Gino, is that you're open to suggestions. If people say, "Hey, what about broth?" When that all came out, it's like, oh, well, yeah, let's try it. The little psyllium cakes that Artie made. Let's do it.
We got it all.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not a stick in the mud and my way's the only way. You're definitely open to suggestions, and that really, we're all in this together.
Yeah, we'll keep expanding. Mm-hmm. We'll refine it. It can only be improved.
Yep, you'll be 10,000 by Monday, I bet.
Yeah, we were pretty close, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing. We only have a small percentage actually doers, but it's a good thing. We got so many people running with the information and making it their own out there that we've seen, and it's sad. There's separation is an illusion, but we've taken the measures to do what we have to do because of the bullcrap legal stuff.
Yes.
And, we got high risk of death on Master Fast. Remember that.
Yeah.
Your risk of death is very high.
Yeah.
We have to put that out there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Responsible.
You will die. If you can make Master Fast part of your life, you will die. Doing Master Fast.
Exactly.
So, whatever, for the people that want to remain ignorant, they making these ignorant claims, whatever. Yeah. Oh, there's people that died of Master Fast. You're damn right there's people that died of Master Fast.
Yep.
But they're so ignorant, they think Master Fast caused their death, not their whole life of filling their body up with garbage. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Exactly.
Go for it. They don't want to take responsibility.
I really appreciate you interviewing Marin and putting that on YouTube. That has been.
I've been asking him for a while. I go, Marin, you need to get this out there. People need to know. Even with the interview, there's a lot more stuff. We can only do so much, but I don't know anybody who's gone through what he's gone through. Let's put it that way.
Oh, you know what? He is such a testament to what this is, the possibilities of this fast is. Him and Gabrielis.
They're two of the superheroes. You got a guy who was walking, and you got Myron that was on his deathbed, and he's alive, and nobody understands how he's alive. I don't even understand. How can you be alive with no lymph system? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how it's working. I really would, I would really be interested knowing what his, I don't know, being in the medical field, I would really love to be a little microscope and be able to go inside and see how everything is functioning.
Exactly.
And how he's, I don't either. I really don't.
The way he explained, they put a pump in it, and then which he injects this lymph stuff made from turkeys.
Yep.
But he's got it way, 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 way down from a huge amount to minimal amount now. That's the only thing left after 22 medications.
Yep.
And I think he can get off it myself, but it's going to be a work in progress. Poor guy, man. It was an experimental surgery. And
they used him as a guinea pig.
Yeah, like less than 20% survived the surgery. And then even if they survived the surgery, they're gone not long after that. So he's blown them away. Like when he was mentioning he was at that conference, and he's listening to all the lies. Like they're explaining that he's alive because of what they've done, and he confronts them. They're all bashing him. Poor guy. They used him.
I know, but that took a lot of courage for him to stand up there and say, wait a minute.
Yeah. Maybe one day he'll share exactly what they've done. I don't know because I'd like to know exactly the operation, what exactly they did. It's I don't have a complete understanding because he says they took most of his lymph system out and they put catheters through him. So it's
right.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you have esophageal cancer and they take out your esophagus and they basically put a graft in.
Wow.
And it's it's not from another donor. I mean, it's artificial. So your body is constantly fighting that, so, and I don't know what exactly they used for his lymphatic, vessels to replace. Yeah. I have no idea, but
I think
he's definitely a medical.
I think he mentioned base materials, whatever.
So
like the esophagus is just one tube, whereas the lymphatic vessels, I mean, how can you replace these?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to me, Rana. It doesn't make sense to me at all. But because I worked in surgery for many years, and general surgeries, ortho, all different kinds of surgery, open heart. Never, ever, ever was I exposed to anything like that. I have not a clue what that all entails. But, He's definitely a medical miracle. And for the doctors and the professionals that were
Hello?
at that conference to poo-poo him, like make it, they're just so damn they're arrogant a-holes, you know, and it just pisses me off that they just minimalized everything that he went through, you know, succumbing to their surgeries and their, you know, onslaught of, you know, mutilation to his internal system. Anyways, I don't know.
Anyway, let's focus on all the good stuff happening. Thank you for sharing your story.
You're doing amazing.
You're welcome.
That's amazing. So happy.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah.
Couldn't have done it without you.
We need the support.
Such a blessing.
We need the support system. You know, without a support system, it's too much for people.
Yeah. It is very, very important to have people to be able to reach out to you and answer their questions. Like you said, there's somebody on the board 24 hours a day.
That's the goal. To have somebody always there for whoever needs it. Somebody's there, and that's the purpose. Yep. And Facebook for that.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna mute my board so I can listen to everybody else. So thanks for letting me share.
I think Roland has.
Roland, do you have a question? You have to unmute.
I have a question, but I'll wait 5 minutes for that if I can.
Okay, I think somebody here had a question in the chat.
Did your computer die?
Yeah.
I hope we got the recording.
Yeah. In the middle of the night here, I might fall. Okay.
I might fall away on the call soon. We'll listen this second hour and video later. Much love and success on your fast.
I have 4 root canals. This is Jordan. I have 4 root canals in my mouth. No mercury. What is the best way to go about dealing with those 4 root canals? They don't bother me, but my understanding is that they are very bad.
Yeah. I would leave them and let the body do what it has to do. They might come out on their own if you're doing a long fast, and it's because it's dead tissue. If they're not bothering you, like, you know, you should massage around the gum areas regularly to feel if you feel anything, because if you feel anything, then you want to pull them out. So it's sad, but root canals are a big no-no. Never ever get a root canal done. Just get it filled or get the tooth pulled. Root canals are big, but if you already have them and they're not bothering you, like I said, massage your gums every day is a good habit to do anyway. And then you'll be able to feel if there's anything happening in that area. And like I said, they might come out on their own, so 1 or 2 or 3 or all of them. You never know. So don't do any work on your teeth when you're fasting, folks. Either do it before or at least a couple of months after you break your fast, because you don't know what's happening. If you have small fillings, some people, what they've done, dentists will not like to do this. You remove the filling and leave the tooth open through the fast, because you never know, the tooth may regenerate. We're all at different levels. I have a very weakness in my teeth area. Like I explained my story, destroyed them, not with fruit, with high fat. And this is a problem in my area, but there's some people that regenerate, cavities, healing. So you never know. You never know what can happen. Depends on your genetics and many other things. But I would risk leaving the small cavities open, remove the filling, and go on the fast. If you only have a few small ones, who cares? If they start bothering you, you can get them filled after. But any teeth pain, clove oil works really well to get through that. You can use it very often. Even peppermint oil will work, but clove works better for any tooth pain. Just rub it a bit on the gum and right on the tooth, 1 drop, and it subsides the pain pretty nice. Anything else, folks?
There's another question there.
Yeah.
Could you please expand on how missing menses is the healthy norm? I thought my missing menses and cystic acne are all related to imbalance.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Imbalance
We've talked about that on the board many times. There's two scenarios. There's a healthy body and an unhealthy body, and both can have no periods. Which one do you want to choose? That's the simple answer. The reason women have periods is another avenue out for toxins to leave. So every month the womb gets ready for procreation. So the womb needs to be in a pristine state. So it'll release any toxic matter out, and that's why you have a period. When you're unhealthy, everything is out of whack and nothing's working, and then you can lose the period. When you come to a point where you cleanse the body, where it's in a pristine state, there's no need for the womb to shed itself. So you don't have periods. Susan Ridetta, who was on our board a lot at the beginning, she was moving from Bali. She may be traveling now, but she shared her story. And she's amazing. She's been following Arnold Ehret's mucusless diet since she was 16 years old. 2 years transition on vegetables and stuff, and then 100% fruitarian, and she's in her 60s now. In Bali, she lived there many years. She would only eat 10 days a month, 20 days a month.
No, 10 days a month.
She would only eat 10 days a month, 20 days a month of coconut water.
Yeah. There's to the time she was fasting.
So 20 days a month fasting, coconut water. 10 days a month eating mono meal, one fruit per season.
One type of fruit.
One type fruit per season.
Yeah.
She's in her 60s, 5 children, all breastfed, all super healthy, no menstruation.
So she lost her period as soon as she started the mucusless diet. She got her period when she was 14, and then she lost it as soon as she started in 16.
Yeah, maybe I think 2 years later.
She did cooked vegetables, I believe, lots of baked root vegetables, and then she moved to fruitarian, and she's been fruitarian since she was 18, basically. Now she's 60. She had 5 healthy kids without periods, so she was ovulating, but she wasn't having her periods.
Yeah, and I read about a woman like her in Arnold Ehret's mucusless diet, and I said, "There's got to be somebody living like that." And I met her through the Facebook. This was at the beginning stages. We chatted a bit, and she's amazing spirit. And guess what? She started dry fasting because of Master Fast.
She does 5 days every couple of months.
Yeah, so I think she was, last time we spoke, she was doing like 5 days a month of dry fasting within their 20 days of coconut water. So this is a super being, living on next to nothing. What's possible? Everything. What's living in us? Our mind is the only limit.
Yeah, so don't worry about losing your period. That's totally fine. And when we are fasting, usually I get my period the first month, maybe the second month, and then I lose it after that. And that's fine. I'm actually so happy I don't have to deal with anything, with it, So it's much easier. No cramps. You don't even feel it. It's just, you just see blood sometimes. But
you'll still get pregnant.
It's amazing. Yes, of course. You're healthy now. You're clean. Okay, Roland, do you want to talk? You ask your question.
Yes, I have some questions. First, I would like to thank you, Gino, for a very helpful site that you have put together. Thank you very much. And I want to know your thought about aging and how it would look if we didn't have our sad diet that we have, or our lives.
Yeah,
And how many years you think we could expand our lives if we lived right from the start?
Well, they're very difficult questions to answer, but we've seen so many people just on raw foods reverse their aging. I did when I went on raw a lot, and then I destroyed myself and I aged some more. But the aging thing, we haven't actually cracked the code 100% to stop aging. There is a code to stop aging. There is immortality. I believe there is. We will get there. Will it be in our lifetime? I don't know. One of the keys is we won't be eating any food to stop completely aging. Even the breatharians out there, there's a few of them. Some of them are on liquids, and some of them are on no liquids, only air. They're still aging. They're still aging. Why? There's something missing that we have to
what
crack.
we read, I don't know if he was
The breathing.
The breathing. So to not age, you have to stop breathing. Get it to zero.
That's what I said. Once you master the breath, you don't need it no more. And that's the point to immortality. When you can actually absorb your energy 100% plasmatically, no breath. Because you're back into the state where you can enter an energetic form or a matter form, and you don't need your breath anymore at will. I can't do that yet, but it's possible. It's all in the Vedic teachings. We're being taught in plasma science the same thing, but there's a science explanation for it now. Not mainstream science, plasma space science. So we will get there. We will get there. We will come to the point where you sever a finger or a hand or a leg or an arm, and we'll be able to put it back on instantaneously. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Will we see it in our life? I don't know. Maybe, because it's moving so quickly, this technology. There's so many things. It's not going to be done through food.
Eating it for sure.
No way.
Yeah.
We've all been through the food thing. And, we're showing that by removing everything, we're able to heal anything. All the guys telling you got to eat this and take this vitamin and this mineral, they're all plateauing, folks. Every one of them. You're only going to go so far taking things in. We're doing the opposite. So,
but one thing, you said so many times, and I believe it, but when your body have healed, like if the body have healed itself through fasting, what's the amount? Do we need any amount of food, or?
A lot of us is going to be a lifetime thing, and you will see as the years go by, which I can only speak from experience, your food consumption will go down. Your eyes will be bigger than what your body actually needs, and you need to adjust and get used to it. And sometimes you'll eat something that big, like one fruit, and it'll be enough for you. And sometimes you're gonna go, okay, let me have another one, and you'll eat that second one. Why did I eat that second one? I didn't need it. You'll come to that understanding yourself. So it's going to be a gradual thing, working your way with less and less food, and finding your dry fasting hours are going more. Your dry fasting days will be more. And every once in a while, you'll go back to eating a little bit more and less dry fasting. That's okay. It's going to be, it's like an art. You're going to have the feel for it. And there's no two people that are going to be the same. But your stomach, is basically the size of your fist. That's all it is. And people say your stomach shrinks when you fast. No, it doesn't shrink. You have to understand, when we're overeating, and we lose our elasticity, the stomach stays in a stretched mode. When you fast, everything heals. And that's why everybody that's done at least 40 days on Master Fast, they have way stronger bowels when they eat. the bowels are working like crazy. And people are saying, I can't believe how much I shit now. Going 4, 5, 6 times a day because everything is working properly. So the stomach elasticity, it goes back to where it's supposed to be. And you can eat still large amounts of food and it'll stretch out because the elasticity is returned. I can still eat huge amounts where I used to eat if I forced myself, but I don't feel good. It's uncomfortable, So you have to learn to eat less and be satisfied. It's the emotion that we're dealing with when we're trying to satisfy. It's not the physicality. The physicality is a small amount of food. Like, honestly, 1 fruit a day, like a mango a day, an apple a day, is probably way more than enough than we actually need when you've cleaned your body. Honestly, that's all you need. A handful of berries. If you come to that clean state, that's really all we need. And when you're doing mono eating, it's much more efficient than when you're mixing things. When you mix things, you're going to eat more. I found.
How much greens, green vegetables do you think you need if you compare it with fruits? If you're clean,
greens,
really clean.
Greens are, we need more grounding. The people who desire the greens need more grounding. Like I found that when I broke my long one, I was doing the fruit, and then I started craving greens. So I needed some greens to ground myself.
I feel I crave greens as well. So
yeah. If you crave the greens, you go to the greens. How much do you need? I don't know, but you can do it in juices. You can blend some greens. You can make a raw soup. You can eat them as a salad. Many forms, but you got to remember when we're eating greens, they are more difficult to digest, and you'll feel them after a long fast. They take a lot more energy to digest than fruit. So always have fruit first. Make sure you always have your fruit, no matter what. Have your fruit. Wait a bit, 20 minutes, half an hour, and if you're still hungry and you still have that craving, then go for some greens in any form you want. It can be a juice, it can be the soup, it can be whatever. Seaweeds, you can make that part of your diet as well, because they're more of a herb. They're basically a herb that grows in the ocean. They have a lot of power. Use some of the herbs for your greens. Go pick some wild ones. You'll get much more balancing energy from those than you would.
And my last question for you. Can you, if I go to Toronto, can I come somewhere and pick up the herbs, or do you have to order it online?
You're in Toronto area?
No, my mother and father are going there soon, so.
We can work out something, to pick them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for some people, it's not worth the drive. Within Toronto, it's $15-20 to ship it. It's not worth the time and the.
No, but my parents don't.
Yeah, no. I have people picking up. Yeah, we have people picking up with it. But I'm just saying, most people just rather have it shipped. They just don't want to have the time. But if you have them come, we can do that. That's not a problem.
Okay. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work.
We do the best we can. Going back with the greens, it's almost 9 o'clock. Growing your own sprouts. I did a lot of sprout growing. And now I stopped because I'm doing so much dry fasting. What am I going to do with these sprouts? Because it takes so much time to grow them and so on. So I stopped growing them kind of. I'll do it once in a while. My kids will have a little bit, but I don't want to throw them away. And but sprouts are power. You can juice them. You can eat them. You can make salads from them. I ate them for many, many, many years, sprouts, when I was doing the raw, and they're a power. When you grow your own sprouts and you especially grow them with ocean water, you won't want to buy anything. The taste is like night and day, the difference. So much more flavor and aromas and everything. And like when I do my garden in the summer, you don't need to eat much when you're growing things with all these elements and energies. Now we have the plasma. Just spray everything with plasma, and you don't need much of these foods. Just like the wild foods, they're very, very nourishing in that sense for keeping you settled and balanced. But it's an art form. It's an art form for us to feel our way and ground ourselves. And I think that's it for today. We've
Gina?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
This is Jason, Tuche's husband. She's yeah. Hi, how are you? I just wanted to thank you so much. You've inspired a whole generation of I call them the new wave fasters. We're getting rid of all the shit and the dark side within ourselves, and from that darkness and that empty vessel becomes the light. So I mean, it's unbelievable. You sit here, but the real nutrition that we're getting is the sharing of the information, the sharing of the love, the sharing of the vibration, and the frequency that everyone feels on the board and from experiencing the fast. And I'm very blessed to have Tuche in my life. She's been on the fast now for 40 days, and she's really at it. And when you come across a vessel that's fasting, a love vessel that's fasting, you feel it on all levels. So the things that are like, for instance, I'm not totally devoted and dedicated on the master fast yet, but I've had glimpses of dry fasts, and I can really connect with the celestial. Even in that 1, 2, 3 days that I'm dry fasting, it's such an empowering thing. And you're really leading this up through, not only through here on the board right now, but throughout the world. And everyone I'm coming across knows about the master fast now. It seems like everyone and their grandmother is like is like totally into the cleansing, and your system is the best on the planet right now.
Master fast system. It's not mine.
Yeah. And I ran into a good friend of yours down in Florida a couple weeks ago, Dr. Morse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we happened to run into each other. I went down to his place, and he says to say hi to you, and he agrees with you on so many aspects of the way you're doing your fast. Of course, he's into a little more of the Ra's law, and he believes that that you can get some of the effects of the fasting through using a raw grape juice as opposed to what you're doing with the pasteurized grape juice. And I was explaining to him the concept, create the plasma and creating the vortex and really pulling the mucoid plaque out. But it's good to have people that agree and don't agree too with it, and just experience it. So, but lots of love, lots of vibration, lots of frequency. There can't be any naysayers in what you're doing. It's really just a beautiful thing to be here and to be on. It's like an honor to speak to you and all the people, and sharing in this in the beauty that we're creating in the world. You would think that that we're finally breaking through the conditioning of the breakfast and lunch and dinner. Those 3 words are like nightmares, right? You get rid of those 3 words, and what do you have? You have perfection. You break through the social programming and the conditioning that's so ingrained in us. And there's not one day I don't wake up and I'm thankful to have the experience to look and do some shadow work and really start pulling out the darkness and allowing this vessel to fill up with light. So my gosh, I'm going to stop speaking because I'm probably just
it don't matter. Awesome. No, it's great. Thanks for sharing, guys. It's amazing. This is what it's about. We need to share. Otherwise, what are we doing here? I mean, it goes beyond what we can imagine. Emotion intense everything. Emotion intense everything. And for the people that don't understand what we're doing, it's okay. It's okay. It's not for everybody. They just don't understand what we're doing. And it's not their purpose to understand it, I guess. It's okay. The few of us that take the plunge and experiment, we know the difference. There's no comparison.
But you know what, Gino, they'll come around too. In other words, everything was designed in perfection. Our lives, everything that has led up to this moment, and we're still smiling. And we're not changing the outer world. The only thing we're doing is changing our inner world, and that will reflect out, and everyone will will catch on eventually, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's an uphill battle because what do you say? Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, be the change you want to see in the world. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We want to be the change. We want to take that step into the peaceful realm. That's where we want to see all humanity. And how are we going to be in a peaceful state if our body is a mess and our mind's a mess? It's too challenging. Like I said, most people want to be in a peaceful state. The problem is that we've been enslaved. Number one, I believe, is the food. Number two is man's law and paper and money, which is all paper. So we need to understand that and move away from that. The day that we can get rid of money will be the happiest day I'll ever be in my life. Because that's these things have been enslaved us. So if we understand that food is also what's enslaved us. Holy mac! What else? What else have we got to learn? So yeah, the food is a big, big thing. The breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we see parents forcing their children to eat.
My God.
Oh, God, I've been through it, so I know. Look what happened to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to move away from these belief systems and awaken everybody else by showing what we can do with what we're doing. That's all we're doing, and then they can see by example. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
For us to do.
You don't have to say much when you're doing it by example, because then a person's going to say to you, what is this? What's this vibration and energy and frequency coming out of you?
Yeah. And we're noticing people are getting attacked because of it, because it's a misunderstanding at a subconscious level. They're feeling it, but physically they're going, whoa, what's going on with this guy? Look how thin he is, and they're trying to put you down because it's a sense that they're going, wait, I don't want to go there right now or whatever. I don't know.
You don't have to go onto the defense too, because that creates a polarity. But you can say, "I am that I am," and I was devised in perfection, and this is just part of the perfection. And when I say perfect, it's imperfectly perfect.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, there's ways of countering that energy without polarizing it. And you just love that person unconditionally too. The person the person that says you're too thin, or the person that says whatever, you have to love the things that that are out there that are creating that polarity. Yeah, and then embrace them. Yeah.
I love it. Yes.
What's your ages?
I'm 43 on the Earth plane. Tuche is 30.
I'm 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm 4 or 5 though.
You look like kids. That's why I'm asking. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, let's wrap it up, I guess. If anybody else, and we'll call it a night, I guess.
Thank you so much for sharing, guys.
Lots of love. Namaste. Thank you so much. Lots of abundance to everyone this week.
Excellent.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Good night.
Thank you for all your time. Thank you, guys. Have a good.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
We love you. Have a great week.
You too.
We'll see you next Saturday. Yeah.
Love you.
Love you. Lots of love. Lots of peace.
Keep that plasma love flowing.
Yes.